So this video is to show you how to set global defaults on your forecast. So we're going to click over to forecast. And I want you to ignore this. This is something that you can actually review by clicking this why reconciling is critical. But I want you to ignore this for the time being. Now you can sort by supplier, you can sort by warehouse, and you can sort by brand when you're looking at your forecast algorithm. So the thing that we're going to do is we're going to sort by warehouse. And when you sort by warehouse, it actually defaults to transferring. When you sort by supplier, it defaults to ordering. So for now, we're going to be sorting by warehouse. And that's just simply to show you one of these products that's more active. So the thing I want you to notice is that you have all of these different averages, right? It'll show you the average for 180 days, 90 days, 60 days, all the way to 2 days. And so what you can do is you can actually, when you click on it, it'll include that in each one you click on will be included in the average, right? On something like this, that's got a drastic change, you'll actually see a significant change. So that, adding the 2 days, it went from 40 to 41, right? If we were to add the 180 days, it goes from 40 to 47. So you can see that on some of these products, if they're fairly volatile, you will see a significant change. If they're not, then you essentially won't. So in order to get more detailed and actually to go into adding and setting the default for your entire catalog or all of your products for a specific supplier, you would actually click on here on this adjusted velocity. And say, for example, you wanted all of your products to include 180-day, 90-day, 60-day, 30-day, and 15-day. That's the average velocity that you want for your entire catalog. So if you were just to click this button, use save and apply to this forecast only, what you're telling the software to do is to save it only for that product that you are working on. But if you went and clicked this drop down and clicked save and apply to all forecasts, it applies it to your entire catalog. So you can also save and apply to products from this supplier and save and apply to products in this marketplace, right? So you can decide what you want this setting to be applied to. For the purpose of this video, we'll just save and apply to all forecasts because we are talking about how to set global defaults, right? So this will set a global default, which will tell the software that this configuration of averages is what you want to use in order to do your forecasting, right? So you can see here this changed to 48, right? We had it at 40 before. So you can see how deciding what you wanted to do with each of your products becomes important. For example, we might add, we might take off the 180-day on this and we might add the 7-day on this. Maybe not the 2-day because that is very drastic, but you'll see that 45 days is what the average velocity is for us. So you can see we can set actually our global defaults, and then we can go in and fine-tune particular products that may have specific things that require them to be adjusted a little bit more specifically. So the first thing that I would advise to do is to set everything globally, right? And then to go in and change specific products like I just did here. So now I'm going to click on this product and I'm going to show you a couple of other places where that is also true. So we have this thing, let's see, default lead time. Okay, default lead time. So default lead time is 60 days. Okay, and we're on a particular supplier. We're on this Cali Storage supplier. And so we'll click on default lead time and say we wanted it to be 42 days. Say, oh, that's the default lead time is actually 42 days for this supplier. You can click confirm, right? And so you can actually come in and change it on a product per product level, right? You can click confirm and change on a product per product level. And this is where you would actually want to change your lead time. So if you're going to actually change the lead time on a global level, you would go to your vendors and go to lead time. But if you wanted to change a specific product, so the supplier for every single product is going to be defaulted to the default lead time. But that's when you come in here is you can actually change the lead time for just a particular product. So that works a little bit differently, but we'll look at some other examples as to how to adjust various different elements. You see this button again, save and apply to this forecast only. So if we wanted to apply 5% growth, but we wanted to apply it across our entire catalog, we would click here, right? We're applying to the entire catalog, and when you apply to the entire catalog, it takes a little bit longer than if you were to just apply to that product. So that's just something to keep in mind. All right, and you'll see that the average velocity here was 45, right? But then the adjusted velocity is 47 because we applied 5% to that. So whenever you're applying adjusted growth or a trend, it's going to be applying to the average velocity as laid out by this formula that we have instructed the software to use, right? And if you have any questions as to how a formula was reached, you can simply come to this calendar or this calculator button and click on it, and it'll lay out the formula for you. So you can kind of follow through and understand how the software came up with the numbers that it did. Because it's important to be able to trust the numbers and trust the software. And if it doesn't make sense to you, whether it's correct or not, you're just not going to use it. So we want to make sure that you understand what we're doing to come up with these numbers, and that is illustrated in all of these calculator buttons here. All right, so that's about it. Again, recommendation is to apply your global settings like we did here, right? So that everything has the 80, 180, 90, 60, 30, 15, and then to come on a product per product level and adjust each of the products after you've applied your global settings.